Hey there, we're Group 11, and this is our demo for our EEG visualization web application. So just to give you a sense of what this problem is trying to resolve, our client is a professor over at the MRI lab who does research on the electrical impulses inside of the brain. However, to do that, she needs to be able to detect the exact 3D coordinates of a electrode on an EEG net that her patient is wearing. So to help her with that, we have her first take a 3D scan of the patient wearing the electrode net and export that as a point cloud data, which is then uploaded to this application, which performs all sorts of processing and visualization on it.
Well, before you can start to use the web app, you need to make an account, which Jack is doing here, is creating a new user. And when you do that, you enter the username, email, and password, and that gets all stored in our backend database using SQLite. SQLite is a very common database to be used with our framework, our web framework, Django. And once you log in with your new user, it redirects you to the upload page. And there aren't any scans here because the table here only displays data or scans corresponding to the current logged in user. But you can upload point cloud files like we talked about, and the database will store the scan name, the data was uploaded, the electrode coordinates in JSON format, as well as the user who uploaded the scans.
So you can see here that I'm uploading a few different scans, and it gives updates as to the progress. So you can see here an error actually occurred while we were processing the data, and that's probably because these files are really big and we're transferring them over a network. But if you just refresh the page and try again, as the error message indicates, it will usually work. So watching this, yep, it worked. So let's finally upload a third scan. This one will be a PTS file, and we will upload that too. Unfortunately, it errored again, but we will just try again. And there it is. So now we can go to the visualize page where we can see all of these scans. So I can click on the different scans to visualize them. If I decide I no longer need a scan, I can go back to the upload page and choose to delete a scan. And if I go back to visualize, that scan is no longer available to look at.
So a little more on the visualization page itself. It's written using the 3JS library, and it just kind of allows the user to view all the electrode positions in 3D space. They can, maneuver the camera around in orbit and pan, but also allows them to select different electrodes, and it displays information about it at the bottom there. So their name and their precise coordinate location. And if you want all of the data as opposed to highlighting them individually, you can go up to the top where it says download electrode coordinates. It'll give you a text file. And when you open that text file, there's all the electrode numbers and their associated precision values. And that's the basics of the visualization page.
So you might be wondering how we actually get these coordinates. So the process is that once a data file is uploaded, it's first thresholded based on color. All of the points associated with electrodes should be either white or black. So we isolate the points that have a saturation color value of less than a given number. After that, we then perform an outlier removal. All of our points that are inside the electrodes should be rather dense and have many neighbors. So we want to keep those while removing those that have fewer neighbors, which are probably associated with wires or other details inside the scan. Lastly, we perform a DB scan clustering algorithm on the remaining points, which will section them into different electrodes. Then the centroids of each of those clusters are rendered here on the screen.
So this web app is on the internet, and we are using Amazon Web Services to host it. Specifically, we're using an EC2 instance to run our Django application. For our web server, we're using Nginx, and we're also using Unicorn to help Nginx send the necessary data to the user.
This concludes our demo of our EEG visualization application. Thank you so much.